In the second part of this island road trip series, I head to the beautiful county of Donegal. Known for its dramatic coastline, beautiful bays and mountainous terrain, it's somewhere I was really looking forward to exploring more. After leaving the Causeway Coast and crossing the border, I went straight to Glenveagh National Park, the second largest national park in Ireland. My first stop was Donegal Church. Wow, I was not expecting this in Ireland. Loads and loads of rhododendrons dotted around this national park. I know they're not native and they're invasive, but they do look really, really good. I wasn't expecting to photograph them in the mountains in Ireland. I originally was going to come here and just photograph the church and then just go on and go to another location, but I've just sort of really enjoyed exploring this area. It's so, so beautiful. As I mentioned, I really didn't have much expectation for this area, and I was pleasantly surprised. I think so much of what inspired me to visit County Donegal was to do with the dramatic coastline, but it's easy to forget the areas inland. I would later on visit this same area in the hope of some beautiful evening light, but before then I made a visit to Fanad Lighthouse. As the evening drew closer, I headed back to Donegal Church to catch the sunset, and I got some beautiful light. I'd love to say it was an amazing experience, but to be honest, the midges were out in force, and even with my midgie net, it was pretty unpleasant. Fortunately, I did come away with a nice image. The next morning, I got up early to catch the sunrise at Fanad Lighthouse, and boy, was it a good one. What an incredible sunrise this morning. You might not be able to tell by how it looks at the moment, but the colours were so vivid this morning, and I was in the perfect position to capture it. And yeah, I really wanted to come to this location and get a good shot. I think it's a really great composition. I knew there'd be a good sunrise this morning as I was driving in. You could see a thin sliver of light on the horizon. Those sort of mornings are the ones you dream of when you get up at like 3, 4 in the morning. It makes it all worth it.
I then got one last burst of light through a small gap in the clouds. Later that day, I headed south in search of waterfalls and beaches, with my first stop being Assaranca Waterfall. I then went to the nearby beach of Maghera, and this was a beautiful stretch of coastline and had a very different feel about it, with the landscape being very open. The wind really kicked up at this point and made for a nice photo opportunity, with the clouds moving overhead and the sun bursting through. There are also some pretty interesting caves to explore at low tide. That evening I headed to Malin Head, which is the northernmost point of mainland Ireland.
Oh wow, been getting some excellent light this evening. I've come out to Malin Head, and this is a pretty dramatic stretch of coastline. It's right on the north tip of Ireland, and yeah, this is absolutely epic. You get some great views from all around. So yeah, when I was planning my trip to Ireland, this is what I had in mind. You know, this dramatic coastline, steep cliffs, rough sea. Yeah, just stunning. I got here a little bit early before sunset, and I was pretty lucky actually because I timed it quite well with the sunlight.
The next morning I headed to Crohy Head, where there's a pretty incredible sea arch. My next stop would be the cliffs of Slieve, and on my way there I really went off the beaten path, exploring some remote areas. I I eventually made it to the cliffs, which was a spectacular sight. These are some of the highest sea cliffs in all of Europe and was certainly worth the trip out. With the weather getting progressively worse, I didn't hold out much hope for my sunset spot. Little did I know it would turn out to be the best evening of the trip.
I was a bit 50-50 as to whether I should come out this evening or not, and I'm glad I did, because that was the most epic thing. The rainbow was just so strong. As you can tell, I got soaked about 5 minutes before it happened, but it was all worth it. Absolutely incredible.
What an incredible way to end my time in County Donegal, and this whole area was certainly a highlight of the trip. In the next video, I'll be heading south for the next leg of the trip, making my way to Maghera National Park. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.